Okay, we have another race that we'll be doing today, and we will be involved in the R class at Daytona International Raceway. And I got gifted a new car today, so I'm going to be giving that a try. This Ferrari. I haven't driven this car yet, so we'll be scrolling through, taking a look at the competition here. So what do we got? Well, we got a Lamborghini, we got a Ferrari, a 2017 Porsche, a 2020 Corvette, another 2020 Corvette, a KTM Expo, a Mercedes AMG, another one of these Ferraris like I have, a Dodge, I guess that's a Challenger, and then yours truly as we set out to begin this race. And we're off. Well, I beat the Dodge off the line. As we go into this left-hander, that Dodge is banging into my rear bumper. There's a couple of guys that spin out. That AMG, he goes off track, but then manages to regain, and the Dodge gets past me as well. Now this particular track layout I'm fairly familiar with because I drove it a lot in the older Forza Motorsport 7. And based on what I'm seeing so far, I don't see any drastic changes to the way this track is laid out. So hopefully I can try to utilize my previous knowledge, and it looks like I'm going to be able to get up to a little bit more speed than these guys, but this is a tricky portion coming up here, and they get through there a little bit better than I do. Now, I did record the qualifying session on this race, but it disappeared somehow. I don't know what happened, but I did do the qualifying. And now this Lamborghini, he got around me, and the Dodge is behind me, filling up my rearview mirror pretty good. And that AMG almost goes off track there, but he catches it. And these guys are kind of making contact with one another. And then I have to brake hard so I don't hit these guys. And I'm able to get around that corner a little better than that Mercedes. But I kind of misjudged things right there a little bit, heading onto this long back straightaway, if you want to call it that, even though it's a big bank track at Daytona. Daytona is banked like 32 degrees. So you end up with a lot of downforce, and there's another Ferrari going around the outside there. And I kind of misbrake things there. And I cut underneath this Lamborghini. No penalties. I'm not, even though I went below the double yellow line, that's still fair game. Now this is a relatively long race, and there will come a point where everybody's going to have to pit to get new tires. I haven't gauged yet where I'm going to do that based on the way the car feels and the amount of slide that I'm getting and stuff. But you do get kind of notifications up on the screen telling you, that you have minor tire wear, moderate tire wear. So you do get a warning about, hey, it's time to go on the pits. So that yellow Ferrari, it's behind me, and it appears to be a little bit faster than I am because he goes around the outside of me. And this is a really wide track at Daytona, so you have plenty of room to go around people on the outside. And it's also a very, very fast track. You're able to get up to, the top speed that you're able to achieve. Of course, as soon as you get there, you gotta brake, and if you don't brake right, like that, you end up knocking out a bunch of cones and losing time, and the people in front of you just keep getting further and further away. Now these people behind me, they seem to be maintaining about the same distance on these different laps that I'm doing. Although there's somebody right there banging into my rear end. And that's a Porsche, and he managed to get underneath me, and that Dodge goes by me, and this Corvette goes by me. Now there's another Corvette that was fairly far ahead, but it kind of lost it on that corner right there a little bit. But he gets back up to speed. And this black Porsche up there, he's doing a pretty good job. Now that Corvette right there slides pretty heavy, and I try to squeeze in between the two of these guys, and that doesn't work out so well, and I get a time penalty for making contact with them. So we're up to 180 or so miles an hour, and then you got to slow down to about 40 or 50 to make it through this turn here, going through this little corkscrew chicane part, and then down the second gear here for this one. Well, I brought it down to first gear actually. And then you can get up to fourth gear in this section, and then you have to slow down into second gear to make it around this corner right here. Now you can downshift to first, but you're just peaking out on the revs in first gear in that corner. And then another second gear corner, and then immediately you're powering back up. And this guy slides out right in front of me. That knocks me into the wall, hampers my speed coming out of there. And currently I'm in 10th place. And I'm beginning to think, I'm thinking about pitting on this lap right here because of that slide right there. But I decide to go around the track one more time before I pit, which may or may not have been a mistake. And so here I go into the pits. And everybody else seems to be pitting right along with me. Now I make it out of the pits faster than one person, but 3 people in front of me make it out of the pits faster than I do. And that guy that just passed right there, I don't know if that guy has gone in the pits yet. And if you have no altercations or your car isn't sliding in the corners or anything, you're actually able to carry more laps in a race without having to change your tires. And so it could be possible that the car that guy is driving, he didn't have to pit and get new tires. And he's able to complete the whole race on one set of tires. I don't know that for a fact. That's just what I've seen in the past. And I'm doing my best to rein these guys in. I've dropped all the way down to 13th place. Now some of that is because I pitted and people that were still on the track, they hadn't pitted yet. So as I come around the track here and past the pits, there might be people that are in the pits and I regain positions. I'll have to see if that happens when I come around here. Yeah, it looks like I gained one spot there because somebody was in the pits. And I'm gaining on this Dodge. So I'm thinking I got 2 laps left. I might be able to get around this guy. Let's see how things go. But that car is pretty fast. Now there's another guy there that went off track, so he might come into play, blocking this Dodge from getting around this corner as fast as he wants to. And that kind of gives me a little bit of an opportunity to catch up to him a little bit more. And let's see how well these guys go through this corkscrew transition section here. this kind of chicane. Well, they make it through there just about as good as I do, but I don't make it through there very good because I end up bumping into the wall. So that's setting me back quite a bit. And I've got a .50 second penalty from previous. Now the guy in front of me, he's got a 60 penalty from something he did. And the person behind me, he's got 4.8 seconds of penalties. So that guy has been, and I almost go off track there. Have to rein it in and slow down quite a bit. So these guys were able to pull away from me going down this section. And I'm quite unfamiliar with the handling characteristics of this car because it was a gift from the game, and this is the first time that I've driven it, so I'm fairly unfamiliar with it. After this race, I'm probably going to go offline and try this car out on a bunch of different tracks to try to get a better handle on it, adjust a few things. I'm just driving it, you know, stock out of the box to see how I do against other competitors online. And so far, I'm not doing all that great. I'm in 11th place with 1 lap left. I mean, it is a fast car. You know, I get up to about 180 miles an hour on a straightaway. And the brakes are good. It handles good. It corners good. I just have to get a better handle on the overall performance of the vehicle. Now this Viper, he kind of messes up, and that Dodge, he went off track, so I was able to get past him. So I'm up to 10th place. So I'm in the top 10 as long as I can maintain that. Because he's right behind me and he wants to get that spot back. And I was almost able to duck underneath this guy, and I did get underneath him. But I don't know if I'm going to be able to get through this chicane section better than he can. We'll have to see here. I'm in 9th place right now. And then I come out of there and bump into the wall, and that gives him an opportunity to get around me. So I'm back in 10th. So some pretty significant mistakes on my part. So this concludes my first foray into the Daytona, the newly added Daytona layout. Didn't do all that well. I hope you liked it. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. And I will see you on the racetrack.